for this one. First touch of the ball for Gutierrez, who they signed this summer from Napoli, and Garcia looks to spread the play away over to the far side, where it's collected by Vasquez. Sober into Gutierrez. Leverkusen will be in the Europa League this season. Didn't quite manage to make it into the Champions League spots. 32 points in the first half of last season, 27 in the second half. Left them a little bit short of their hoped for destination. Cut out by Max Brandt. Vasquez with the little touch where it's collected by Schick. Here's Alex Garcia. Garcia, by the way, will be in the heart of the midfield this season. Spanish player, signed a couple of years ago. Maybe an early sign of things to come. Domination in the opening 90 seconds of the match in terms of possession by the Bundesliga side. Tillman away to the right. Bade. Gutierrez. Schick making tracks through the middle to try to get on the end of it. It's headed clear by Fechner. The attempt wayward off the boot of Moreira. Moreira, summer arrival, an Portuguese under-21 international. They signed from Lyon in France. Came through at Sporting in his native Portugal, but only had the one season in French football before making the move. Schick underneath it. Tidied up, Gilligan's away. Maybe the opportunity here for the third division side to venture forward into the box towards Floto. No joy for Kozushiri. Herrera. Fernandez, neat and tidy play. Tillman gets involved. Schick almost on the end of it. Smart keeping from Noah Berdar. Florian Stritzel is their regular number one. He's on the bench today. They've conceded 7 goals in the opening 2 league matches of the season. The 21-year-old Berdar gets an opportunity today. He was actually first choice between mid-January and mid-April last season when Stritzel was out injured, so he did have a run of games in the first team. Debut in the DFB-Pokal for him. Lucas Vasquez with the throw. In towards Schick. One in the air by Jordi Gilligan's. Foul on Max Brandt. Schick, the main man up front for Leverkusen still. 16 goals in 28 appearances in the Bundesliga last season for him, 22 in total. Sober, who's been a long-term player for the club, one of the only players remaining from the double winning season under Javi Alonso. Ball in towards Tillman. Bade with the head start. Max Brandt underneath it. Janitsek sending it forward. Nicely done. There's a tidy look about that passage of play as Afonso Moreira ventures forward. got away from Gino Fechner. Wiesbaden in the third tier. The last one promotion to the second division in 2023. In a playoff, they were hoping in their centenary year last season that they might gain promotion. As they headed into the spring, they were still in a decent position, but it rather faded and fell away at the back end of the campaign. Eki Fernandez on the end of a robust challenge from Fabian Grellinger. Gutierrez, new arrival, just had the one season in Serie A with Napoli. As we're going along, and Schick penalised by referee Dingert. Up against Jordi Gillichens, the Belgian defender. Second season with Wiesbaden for him. Cut out by Bade. Collected by Garcia. Here's Gutierrez. Schick will chase. Safely guarded by Justin Janecek. Available on the near side to receive the pass. Collected by Grellinger. Chased by Schleimer. Offside. Possession so far in the opening 8.5 minutes for the Bundesliga side, as Leverkusen look to apply some pressure here, and Gutierrez. Fernandez, Garcia. Tidied up initially by Grellinger. Morera for Leverkusen. Gutierrez in support. That was Tillman forcing his way into the penalty area. Alex Garcia. Leverkusen, two-time winners of the competition, also eliminated at the first hurdle in the round of 64 on 9 occasions over the years. Heavy landing here for Max Brandt. Summer arrival at Wehen Wiesbaden. Team in the Southwest Regional League, SSV U. Ten minutes in, and the third tier side yet to get close to Blaswick in the Leverkusen goal. Is that about to change? Claiming a handball. referee not about to give them anything for that. Will be a corner though, and an opportunity to put Blasvik under pressure in goal, and it's Tarek Gusushirin who is across to take it. Just the sort of opportunity they need to make the most of, set plays. And it was Schick with the header away. May, they're the player making sure that Morera didn't have a free run into the host's half of the field. Tapsoba. DFB-Pokal tie. Remember, they came from behind on a couple of occasions, this time last year against Bayern Munich, and were only beaten 3-2 with the last kick of the game, a goal scored by Harry Kane. So they're far from out of this tie. Had too many chances worthy of the name in the first half, but they only need one to work out and suddenly the game will have a different feel. Terrific modern stadium, open since around 2007, 15,000 or more just packed in for this one. We've had some rain showers during the first half. Hopefully that will hold off for the second period. Leverkusen trying to avoid the banana skin of the first round of the competition. They made it all the way through to the semi-finals last season, but they have come unstuck against lower league opposition on several occasions in recent years. 6 times in the last 10 seasons, including a couple of years ago in the semi-final. They lost to Arminia Bielefeld in the semi-final away. They were a third-tier team at the time, and they were beaten in that game. So there have been some very early exits for them, including in the first round by a team in the third tier, Elversberg, in 2022. Elversberg, by the way, are the team that they're facing in match week 1 of the Bundesliga next week. They also lost to Karlsruhe, who were in the second division in the second round 5 years ago. There's a whole host of matches in which they have come a cropper over the years, but more recently it's been an excellent record with a runners-up spot in the cup 3 seasons ago and a semi-final place in each of the last 2. Can they go better this year to add to their Europa League campaign as they once again start the season under a new head coach? It was Erik ten Hag at the start of last season, which then became Kasper Hjulmand, and is now Carlos Martinez, as the players start to appear for the second period of this first round tie in the DFB-Pokal, the round of 64. There's the man who scored the goal that separates the two sides, Patrick Schick. Display from the visiting fans. Well, that's Daniel Schöning, the head coach of Wehen Wiesbaden. He'll be pretty happy, I should think, with the way that his team have performed so far. A little bit frustrated to have conceded a goal shortly before the break. Checks being made by our referee, Christian Dinger. plenty to go at the start of this second half. Remember, we have to have a winner today, as the sun appears right on cue. No changes made by either side at half-time, by the way. As the ball was initially sent forward off the boot of Schleimer. No joy for Tillman. Here's Edmund Tapsoba, the newly named captain of Bayer Leverkusen. He's the captain under the new head coach, and Patrick Schick, the new vice captain. Those two announcements made only yesterday. Garcia. I was happy to leave that one. Killikens. Getting his head on that one. Brandt chasing in midfield, beaten to it by Tillman. A little bit of space now opening up for Alex Garcia, who finds Afonso Moreira. This looks rather promising for Leverkusen. Into Schick, who brings the save. And it's a second goal from the tightest of angles, Lucas Vasquez. What a start to the second half. A minute and a half after the restart, it's 2-0. Lovely flowing move. Schick's header turned away by the keeper, who was then beaten at the near post by Vasquez. It's only the second time that he scored for Bayer Leverkusen following his arrival last year. Schick's header was a decent one, and Vasquez squeezing it through the most acute of angles. Wehen Wiesbaden 0, Bayer Leverkusen 2. And the Bundesliga side sitting a little more comfortably now with the cushion of that second goal. So they scored a couple of minutes before the break, and less than 2 minutes after the restart have added to that lead. So again, the complexion of the tie has changed completely in the last few minutes of play. Suddenly it looks a long, long way back for Wiesbaden. Here now is Fernandez, now Vasquez, scorer of the goal. Enki Fernandez. A little bit of pressure. Miscued pass by Max Brandt for Wiesbaden. And then collision with one of his opponents there from Garcia. Not quite coming off. Challenge was sturdy but fair. Referee had a good view from Vasquez. Here now is Maza. Leverkusen taking the handbrake off a little bit here now. Bade. Good cleared by Fechner. Short, sharp, neat, tidy sequence coming to an end. Garcia. Lovely, sharp, crisp passing collected by Schick. Tillman was running into the penalty area, no foul. This is with Fernandez once more. Tillman, as they look for number 3, and Schick. Bade. This is Tillman looking to cause some more problems for the home defence. Miguel Gutierrez backing him up. Grelingo with the chance to head it clear. This is Maza. Free kick for the home side. Finally, I think we're ready to get on with the game once more now that we have a ball. And Gillikens with the free kick. The pass goes astray though, off the boot of Nicholas May. Here comes Fernandez, who gets the free kick. Referee again, referee Dinger in a great spot to see it. There was the pullback on the shoulder of Eki Fernandez. Garcia, player who arrived from Girona a couple of years ago. Spraying it over to the far side, looking for Moreira. Promising 21-year-old Moreira, under 21 for Portugal. Tapsoba. Garcia. Free kick conceded by Gillikens. Challenge on goal scorer Lucas Vazquez, who made a lot of appearances during his time at Real Madrid, 402 in total before moving last year to Germany. It's Garcia sliding in momentarily, winning the ball back. Chases on, Nicholas May. He's got Moritz Floto in the middle, but Bade was quickly across, shutting the door in Ryan's face. To keep his eye on there, just in front of the goalkeeper. May with the throw. Tidily controlled by the goalkeeper Berdar. A free kick there as well. For the challenge by Malik Tillman. team quick to get on with it, desperately need a goal just to give themselves a glimmer of hope and a route back into the game. A few thoughts being offered up to his team from Coach Schörny. Just over 10 minutes into the second half. A free kick there. Nicholas Mai on the end of that. First time he started this season, actually. He's come off the bench in the opening 2 league games. Midway through the second half in both of them. From the youth player with RB Leipzig a few seasons ago. It's Justin Janek who takes the free kick. This is Tarek Guzashirin. This is better. And Grellinger, though, was challenged by Maza. For May once more, Schick. Trying to pick up Malik Tillman. Here's Guzashirin. If you get a goal, it would bring the tie to life. Just out of reach for Grellinger. Lucas Vasquez, score of the second goal. Tapsoba, Garcia. Here goes Tillman. The opening goal scored by Patrick Schick shortly before half-time. And the second goal shortly after the break, scored by Lucas Vasquez. Jarell Quansah is getting ready for his what will be his first appearance actually of the season. He's been having a rest after being with England at the World Cup finals during the summer. Good play by Ibrahim Maza. Solidly defended, shielded there in midfield by Schleimer. Brandt's ball collected by May. Schick has come to the near side this time. Tapsoba into Fernandez. Is Alex Garcia. Nice full ball forward, lovely exchange. Ibrahim Maza and Malik Tillman. Maza's full of tricks, and he's going to get a free kick as well, just outside the box here. Good opportunity here then for Bayer Leverkusen. To presumably definitively put the tie beyond reach if they haven't already. Miguel Gutierrez and Alex Garcia discussing the best way forward. Garcia strikes it. And they'll have a corner kick. And it's going to be the same player who goes across to take it. Quite a hush falling around the stadium, the Brita Arena. Chance for Maza, who struck it well. Going for a spectacular goal. And here we are with take two, Bade at the far post. And an easy opportunity to get the ball away. Totally dominating possession of the ball here, managing the play very nicely indeed. Of course, with that 2-goal cushion, it's with Bade. Now back with Tapsoba. Alex Garcia is directing a lot of the play. Interception made though by Ben Nink on the far side initially. Moreira tussling, held back, and well, he wasn't to be denied, but the referee quite rightly didn't like the look of that whatsoever, and Gino Fechner goes into the referee's book for this blatant professional foul, this cynical foul on Moreira. So Eki Fernandez comes off. Jarell Quansah is on. Lucas Vasquez is off. And so is Patrick Schick. So a triple change by Carlos Martinez here with 25 minutes to go. Christian Kofane is waiting to come on, the Cameroon international. And it's way too long, that'll be a goal kick. So we're seeing some substitutions being made by the home side as well. Sinan Karbina is coming on, Max Brandt going off, and we're also seeing Ayub Shakun. I think the reason that Kafani is still on the sidelines is because he's got to stand there for a minute or so until the ball goes out of play, because Schick was a little too slow in coming off the field. Pressure being put on Malik Tillman. First touch of the ball for Jarell Quansah. Mixed World Cup, of course. He played a role for England, but did see red in Mexico when England won that match in the Azteca. He was sent off in that game, which led to a 2-match suspension, so he was frustratingly on the sidelines for the following couple of games after that. Midway through the second half, and what would appear to be a relatively comfortable lead here for Bayer Leverkusen at the moment. Have Wehen Wiesbaden got enough about them to make a cup tie of this? Can they get a goal that would perhaps give them some hope and change the feel around this game? Bring the home crowd back to life a little bit. Those two goals just over the side of half-time seem to have taken it out of reach. Niklas May with the throw. This is Janecek. Just looking for that little creative spark, or indeed that lucky bounce, if they can get the ball inside the Leverkusen penalty area to at least get them on the board. May with the pass. Janecek collects. He was just too ponderous. It's won back by Kafane, and now here come Leverkusen looking for a third goal. Lovely tee up, and the deflection carries it in. Shot from Nathan Teller makes it 3. Game, set and match Bayer Leverkusen. And it's going to be a winning start in their first competitive match under their new head coach. Too ponderous in possession there, Janecek, and really made to pay for it. Malik Tillman with the initial pass. The little flick set up Nathan Teller, who's only just come off the bench. It was Ibrahim Maza. Clever play. And Teller with the goal. 20 minutes to go. 3-0 Bayer Leverkusen. Quite the way to announce your arrival on the field. And the thoughts of Daniel Schörning, no doubt pretty soon turn to the next league matches, which are home next Saturday to Rot-Weiss Essen, but they'll still keep plugging away here, trying to find a way through. Shot coming in from Tarek Gujasirin. Yeah, Rot-Weiss Essen next, then are away to Hansa Rostock a week after that. Still looking for their first point of the new season, beaten in both of their opening 2 league fixtures. The Bundesliga starts next week, so this is the first competitive game of the season for Bayer Leverkusen, who have had a good pre-season, some success from their friendly matches. And there'll be a free kick conceded by Shakun. Free kick for the challenge on May. Leverkusen only lost one of the last 6 away matches at the back end of last season, and they've been very solid in this one. New era, new look, but a very professional job they've done in this game up to this point. Shirin, too heavy-footed. It's a comfortable take for the Leverkusen goalkeeper for the day, Janis Blasvik. Mazza losing out. Grellinger forward, collected by May. Grellinger will try again. Tillman. Cleared by Bade. That's really good play there from Ben Nink initially, who continues his run there. Tapsoba with the block off, and Nink with the cross. Well, a move which promised more than it rather delivered at the end. Blasvik, experienced backup goalkeeper for Leverkusen. He's 35 now, former Leipzig player. 11 appearances in the Bundesliga last season for him, and half a dozen in the Champions League as well. He played in the round of 16 in the Champions League against Arsenal. Mark Flecken, who arrived from Brentford a year ago, was their first choice. He's on the bench today. Garcia. Free kick for the challenge on Gutierrez. So Loic Bade's day's work is done as he makes way. And Facundo Medina comes on. It's his first appearance. Facundo Medina, who played in the World Cup final for Argentina. New signing from Marseille. He's on. Changes at the back as well. Jordi Gillikens going off for the home side. So bringing on Simon Stehler. Stehler, who signed last year from Saarbrücken. He missed almost the whole of last season through injury. He's on. Fifteen minutes to go. Can Wiesbaden play their way back into this time? one shot on target from the home side in this game. Found it hard to create anything in front of goal. Maza not fouled, said the referee. It was certainly in a great spot to see it. Flag has gone up. There's no foul there, but you could see on the pass forward, Carvino was a mile offside. Quansah. That's a lovely ball. Ibrahim Maza sending it across. Good save by Noah Boda to deny Kofane. Leverkusen going in search of a fourth goal. It's a real banana skin of a weekend for all of the big teams in Germany. The first round of the DFB-Pokal, and it's an annual thing. They all know it's coming. It's a match which has been negotiated superbly by Leverkusen as they make another change, and Ezequiel Palacios comes on. Miscue from Tapsoba. Pressure still on. Tillman's ball is inviting. Almost met at the far post by Quansah. Tapsoba's header. Forward by Fabian Grellinger. Referee says get up, no foul, no free kick. Collected by Teller. Here's Quansah. Here come Leverkusen again with Moreira. Kofane, number 4. And it is a very convincing looking scoreline indeed for Bayer Leverkusen. Last year's semi-finalists in the competition, safely negotiating their trip to Wiesbaden and winning in style with room to spare. He scored in the first round of the competition last year, and the international from Cameroon has done the same here today. Well, no fairy tale for Wehen Wiesbaden today, clearly. They've got work to do to get back on the right track in the league as well, in the third tier. Here's Tapsoba. it's turned out to be a nice afternoon out in the sunshine for the visiting fans, and not surprisingly it is they who are making all the noise so far, packed in behind the goal, enjoying a comprehensive victory for their team under their new captain, who's got the ball at the moment. Tap sober. Here's Alex Garcia. Palacios into Kwanzaa. Just playing out the last 10 minutes of this cup tie now. And Garcia's pass is a really good one, setting away Jarell Kwanzaa, and look how much it's opened up for him, and the ground that he's been able to cover as he sends it into Kafani. Palacios again, no joy for Moritz Floto, who hasn't had a sniff in this second half. Nathan Teller, one of the goal scorers for Leverkusen. Moreira waiting patiently over on the far side. Tillman loitering up by the edge of the penalty area. This is Gutierrez. Facundo Medina settling in alongside Tapsoba in the heart of the defence. A complete domination of this cup tie by Bayer Leverkusen. It's the throw. They change. Grellinger makes way and is replaced by Ibrahim Atiala, 19-year-old, who made his first team debut on the opening day of the new season and has started both of the league matches that they've played so far. Atiala is on. Is there going to be a consolation goal here for Wehen Wiesbaden? Right across the face of the goal from Carvina. They got away from Alec Tillman. Just over 5 minutes to go. Medina. Into Alex Garcia. He scored 2 against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League last season. Garcia, the misfortune for him and Leverkusen was it was on a day in which they suffered a horrendous 7-2 defeat. Very much out of character with how the last couple of years have gone, but heavy defeat nonetheless. It's Europa League rather than Champions League this season for Leverkusen to look forward to. Here's Garcia. Tapsoba, Kwanzaa available near side. Touch from Palacios. And Medina, the new side. Tillman and Teller not quite on the same wavelength there. Inside the last 5 minutes of this cup tie. 2-0 down against Bayern Munich here last season, Wehen Wiesbaden, and they managed it as well, getting it back to 2-2 before finally succumbing right at the end of the game. But there was never really any sign of that happening today. Held by Leverkusen at bay for 43 minutes, but since that first goal went in, it's only ever going to be one likely winner of this cup tie. Slow to unleash a shot at the first opportunity. We've seen that earlier in the game. Headed down by Atiala. Layoff coming from Stehler. Here's May. Decent ball in, but just a little behind Floto. Facundo Medina. Tapsoba. Gutierrez, Garcia, now Kwanzaa. Televen waiting patiently on the near side. Carvina's little ball inside. Forward off the boot of Shakun. TLR chasing. Free kick. That's Gutierrez on the deck. Last minute of the 90 now. And a very successful first competitive outing for Carlos Martinez, the head coach of Bayer Leverkusen, third head coach they've had in the last 12 months, following on from Erik ten Hag and Kasper Schulman. Here's Garcia. Now it's Malik Tillman. Tillman with a good ball into Teller. 90 minutes all but up. Not sure how much additional time we'll have. Just ventured a little too far forward there. And we have a minimum of 2 additional minutes, which begin now. Morera, backed up by Gutierrez. Janecek. This is Tarek Gosushiri. off the boot of Berdar. Maybe time for one last attack. Moritz Floto. Nothing falling his way in the final third. No real threat on Janis Blaswich's goal. Kwanzaa. Shirin for Wiesbaden. This is Karvina. Shirin didn't quite fall at the feet of Ayub Shakun. And there goes the final whistle. It is a professional job, very well done by Bayer Leverkusen. It took them almost to do the halfway point in the match before they broke the deadlock through Patrick Schick, but the tie effectively was over a couple of minutes after half-time. Lucas Vazquez putting Carlos Martinez's side 2 up, and they never looked back from there. Nathan Teller midway through the second half made it 3. And then Christian Krafani with the goal in the 79th minute completed the job. Never did it look as though they were about to come unstuck in this first round tie. An excellent victory for Bayer Leverkusen. It has finished Wehen Wiesbaden 0, Bayer Leverkusen 4. So a successful start to life as the new head coach of Bayer Leverkusen for Carlos Martinez, who of course has got European football to look forward to this season as well with his new club. But a strong performance throughout. They showed patience during the first half, finally took the lead shortly before half-time, and then got the job done with room to spare in the second half. So they're hoping for a good season this season, and certainly a very good start to it. And Berdar, the goalkeeper for Wehen Wiesbaden today, brought into the side, having sat on the bench for the opening couple of league matches, held the opposition at bay for most of the first half, but finally beaten by Schick, and then those 3 second half goals, completing a very comprehensive and comfortable victory for the Bundesliga side against the third tier team who go out of the competition again at this stage. This tie very much going to form. So the match statistics, I guess the all-important one, of course, is the actual scoreline, the 4-0 scoreline for Bayer Leverkusen, but I think all the underlying statistics as well will back up the victory for them. 17 shots on goal, 9 of them on target, nothing on target from Wehen Wiesbaden during the game, and the XG there reflective of what we've seen as well. They actually had just over two-thirds of the possession to Bayer Leverkusen. It was a pretty comprehensive job they have done in beating their opponents. Remember, they've lost to lower league sides in 6 of the past 10 seasons in this competition, so victory for them today was far from a given. They know the pitfalls of these sort of occasions. They've come a cropper several times in recent years, but today that was never about to happen. So nice way to start there for Martinez. They've had a good summer, 7 friendlies they've played leading into the start of the new season. They've won 6 of them, including at Newcastle United last week. Well, the camera operator there, delighted that the weather has picked up, no doubt. It can be a pretty windy, lonely spot there when it's cold and raining during the winter. It's a little bit damp during the first half at times as well, a few showers passing through, but as you can see, the weather rather better since half-time. Good return to the team for Jarell Kwanzaa as well, his first appearance since the World Cup, and Facundo Medina coming into the side during the second half. Gutierrez as well, a very solid debut for him, the new signing from Napoli. And they start life with a victory under their new captain, a very familiar face in Edmund Tapsoba, who's been there for quite a while. He'll be heading up to 300 appearances with the club this season. Those fans who've made the journey will be glad they did. Much for them to enjoy in an excellent team performance. And the new head coach able to mix things up a little bit during the second half as well and make some changes, and was something of a revolving door during the second period. Players enjoying the moment with the fans. Semi-finalists in each of the last 2 seasons and beat the finalists the year before that. They'll be hoping to go deep into this season's DFB-Pokal as well. Terrific turnout for those fans on the road. And 2 new faces getting used to the post-match routine following a victory. And they can look forward to the start of the new Bundesliga season. The opening game of the season is also on the road next weekend at Elversberg. And their first home match will be against Union Berlin on match day 2. Well, Justin Janitsek there, deep in conversation with friends and family post-match. The second day of games being played in the DFB-Pokal, games right across the weekend, Friday through Monday. Plenty of them being played today, as you would expect. Lots to look forward to as well over the rest of the weekend. Of course, Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund among the 2 teams who have yet to take to the field. Extensive coverage of their matches coming up as well over this weekend. Consoling words for the Wiesbaden goalkeeper. And work to do for those subs who came on and those who didn't as well. Moreira getting used to life with his new club. The number 9. Was his first appearance, first competitive appearance for Bayern Leverkusen today, Afonso Moreira. Some promising play from him on the left-hand side. Those fans prepared to make the journey home. Let's look back on the moment of the match. And the moment of the game really put it beyond reach. It was midway through the second half. Ponderous play from Janitsek. Tillman collecting. Teller loitering, waiting for the chance. Lovely flip back from Maza and Nathan Teller, who'd only just come off the bench, made it 3. And made sure there was absolutely no way back for Wehen Wiesbaden. That's a moment of the game. Brilliantly set up and put away by Teller with a little deflection on the way. It's always a big day when you're a third division player and you come up against some of the very best in the game. The opportunity to ambush one of the big boys. They nearly managed it last year. They made life really difficult for Bayern Munich, but couldn't quite put Bayer Leverkusen under the sort of pressure and jeopardy that they were hoping. Wiesbaden today. And let's take a little look at the other early result. Augsburg winners at Energie Cottbus by 1-0. And as you can see, a host of other matches coming up during the rest of the day. And as is always the case, the higher ranked teams, those in the Bundesliga, they're always on the road, facing the jeopardy of a trip elsewhere. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage today. Wehen Wiesbaden, in the end, well beaten by Bayer Leverkusen. It took them nearly the whole of the first half to break the deadlock, but when the deadlock was broken, they never looked back. And that second goal, shortly after half-time, really put the match beyond reach. Teller and Kofane completed the job. Great play from Bayer Leverkusen. 4-0 winners over Wehen Wiesbaden. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Goodbye for now.